She wasn't kidnapped. She wasn't forced at first. She simply trusted the wrong people, and that changed her life forever. Most of us think danger is loud. We imagine it looking obvious, aggressive, easy to recognize. But sometimes, danger is quiet. Sometimes it smiles at you, speaks gently, and promises to help. And when you're young, when you're still learning how the world works, you don't see it coming. I've heard many painful stories in my life. Stories about loss, about injustice, about people who felt invisible. But one of them stayed with me longer than the rest. Not because it was dramatic, but because it was so ordinary at the beginning. Her name was Virginia Giuffre. Before the world knew her name, before the headlines and the investigations, she was just a teenage girl trying to build a future. She wasn't powerful. She didn't come from wealth. She didn't have security or connections to protect her. She was simply young, hopeful, and doing what so many teenagers do, looking for a small job, trying to earn some money, trying to grow up a little faster. She had simple dreams: finish school, help her family, maybe travel one day, maybe create a peaceful life where things finally felt stable. Nothing extraordinary, just normal dreams. The kind of dreams every young girl deserves to have safely. At 16, you're not suspicious of the world. You're taught to be polite, to trust adults, to believe opportunities when they appear. You don't expect manipulation. You don't expect someone to look at you and see vulnerability instead of potential, but sometimes that innocence is exactly what makes you a target. At the time, Virginia worked small jobs like many teenagers. Nothing glamorous, just honest work to earn a little independence. She wanted to feel useful. She wanted to move forward. She wanted to believe that life was opening doors for her. And then, one day, someone noticed her. Not because she was famous, not because she was special, but because she seemed easy to approach, easy to trust. An older woman came into her life, calm, elegant, confident, the kind of person who makes you feel safe almost immediately. She spoke gently, treated Virginia with respect, and made her feel seen. For a young girl, that kind of attention can feel comforting, almost flattering. There were no alarms, no threats, no pressure at first, just kindness. Then came the offer. Simple work, easy money, nothing strange, nothing complicated, just small tasks that paid well. For someone struggling financially, it must have sounded like luck finally arriving. Imagine being 16 and someone tells you that you can earn more money in a few hours than you normally would in days. It feels like opportunity, like someone finally believes in you. And that's how manipulation often begins. Not with force, but with trust. At first, everything seemed normal. Friendly conversations, reassuring smiles, promises that everything was safe. Virginia probably thought she had met people who genuinely wanted to help her succeed, people opening doors instead of closing them. But slowly, things started to feel different. Not dramatic, not obvious, just small moments of discomfort she couldn't explain. And when you're young, you don't trust your instincts. You assume adults know better. So instead of questioning them, you question yourself. Little by little, Virginia found herself in a world she didn't fully understand, a world controlled by older, wealthier, more powerful people, a world where she felt smaller and smaller each day. At some point, she realized something wasn't right. The promises didn't feel honest anymore. The opportunity didn't feel safe. The situation didn't feel like something she had chosen freely. So she did what we always tell young people to do. She tried to speak. She tried to tell someone that something felt wrong, but no one really listened. Maybe they thought she was exaggerating. Maybe they didn't want trouble. Maybe the people involved were simply too powerful to question. Whatever the reason, the result was the same. Her voice didn't matter. And that kind of silence can be devastating. Imagine being 16, scared and confused, finally gathering the courage to ask for help, and being treated like you're overreacting. Imagine realizing that the adults who are supposed to protect you are looking the other way. That kind of moment changes you. It teaches you that power protects itself first. So she carried it alone. Years passed. Life continued on the outside. But experiences like that don't disappear. They stay with you. They shape how you see the world. They make trust fragile. They make every opportunity feel suspicious. For a long time, Virginia lived quietly, trying to move forward like nothing had happened. But some stories refused to stay buried. As she grew older, something inside her changed. Maybe it was strength. Maybe it was anger. Maybe it was the realization that if she stayed silent, others might go through the same thing. Whatever it was, she made a decision. She would not hide anymore. And courage isn't always loud. Sometimes courage is simply deciding, I deserve to be heard. Virginia began telling her story publicly. She spoke to journalists. She spoke to investigators. She spoke in courtrooms. Each time she knew she would be doubted, criticized, questioned. Powerful people would try to discredit her, but she kept going. Because it wasn't just about her anymore. It was about every girl who felt small. Every girl who felt ignored. Every girl who thought nobody would believe her. She spoke for them too. And slowly, something remarkable happened. Other voices joined hers. Other women stepped forward. Other stories came out. Suddenly, it wasn't just one person talking, it was many. And when many people speak together, the world has a harder time pretending nothing is wrong. Virginia wasn't just surviving anymore. She was fighting, not with anger, not with revenge, but with truth. When I think about Virginia Giuffre today, I don't just think about what happened when she was young. I think about who she became later. A woman who refused to disappear. A woman who stood in front of cameras and courtrooms and powerful systems and said, listen. A woman who turned pain into purpose. Her story reminds us of something we often forget. Danger doesn't always look dangerous. Manipulation doesn't always look cruel. Sometimes it looks polite, friendly, helpful. That's why we have to pay attention. That's why we have to listen carefully when someone says they feel unsafe, especially when that someone is young. Because sometimes believing one person can change everything. Virginia was once just a teenage girl looking for a small job and a better future. She didn't know her life would become part of history. She didn't know she would one day challenge powerful people. She didn't choose that role. But when the moment came, she chose courage. And because she spoke, many others found the strength to speak too. So when I remember her story, I don't remember her as a victim. I remember her as a voice that refused to be erased. A voice that reminded the world that young girls deserve protection, not silence. And maybe that's how we should remember her. Not for what was done to her, but for the strength she showed when she finally said, "Listen to me."